to another video. It's actually a live cooking show. Yes, I haven't done a cooking live stream in quite some time. So yeah, we're actually going to do that today. I'll just try and get my tablet to work, just so I can see all of the lovely comments that come up. Right, so today I'm going to do a chicken and vegetable chunky soup. So I'm just kind of winging it to my own style. It was going to be a Slimming World meal, however I just didn't fancy anything that I was looking at throughout the books. If you do hear plenty of noise and stuff in the background, that's because I'm at home and the family, building stuff, moving stuff, doing all that kind of thing. And yeah, you'll just hear the normal Sunday afternoon noise within the Luke John household. So we're going to get started. So as you can see there on the screen, I've already started to boil water. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to boil our chicken. I'm just going to boil this up. This is the Aldi's 2 chicken breast fillets, room to thrive. Yeah, should be nice and delicious. No water added. Please do not wash your chicken. You do not need to do that. And actually, it's against advice from environmental health experts. So if you're one of these that do enjoy washing their chicken for whatever reason, you don't need to. So now we're going to go in with our 2 chicken breasts. So the first one is in, second one is in, and I will discard the packaging. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to season that water, so I'm just going to put in some Mediterranean sea salt in there. I just use this kind, Mediterranean sea salt. And we're just going to let that do its thing whilst I prep everything else. So first up, we're going to prep some celery. So I've got 2 celery sticks, and because this is just going to be a chunky rustic soup, it doesn't really matter what the size is. It also doesn't really matter what the size is if you're going to puree it, or blitz it, or hand stick blend it. It's entirely up to you. Just going to cut that lengthways, get that ends off there. And then go down and across. So we're just going to get these into our little bowl. As you can see, I do have everything out, so once it does go into the pan, I will show you along the way the ingredients, and then when I'm finished I will put the ingredients in the description box afterwards. So anyway, I hope you're all having a lovely Sunday. Hope you had an amazing weekend. So we're just gonna finish off the celery. I love celery. I can just eat celery raw. Love it that much. Nice as a snack, nice with a bit of hummus. And there we have just about our celery. So, as you can see there in the pan, the chicken is boiling away lovely. The scum as it is called will start to form on the top, and we will just take that away towards the end. So anyway, I'm now going to get our back pan on. So let's get that heated up. So I've put it on a medium-high heat. And all we're going to do is we're just going to go in with a bit of Frylight. If you don't follow Slimming World or on a diet, then just use whatever oil you have available to you. You know, a nice bit of olive oil will go in nicely. And I'm just going to coat the bottom of that pan, because what we're going to do first is we're going to put in our onion and our leeks. Now the leeks, as you can see, are frozen. The onion's been diced. Again, you know, use fresh, use frozen. Leeks at the minute are cheaper frozen than they are fresh. So yeah, just use whatever you've got at hand. So that is now coming up to temperature. I'm just going to go in there with all of the onion and all of the leek. We're just going to get it in there, we're going to get it sweating away. And we'll just give that a stir. Just to cover the whole bottom of the dish. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in with our salt again. Oh yes. And a little bit of, I've gone for rainbow peppercorns. You can just put ground pepper in if you wish. I just really like the fresh ground salt and pepper. So we're just going to sweat these down a little bit in that back pan. Sorry about the noises, but we are cooking. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack on and prep the parsnips, or the parsnip as it is, because it's a fairly chunky boy. And then I've got that dish there for the waste. So we're just going to get this in there. Again, it doesn't matter, you can cut this to whatever size you wish. You don't have to be precise at all. But it's all going to taste absolutely delicious no matter what. So who's currently sat having a Sunday roast, or who's gone for something completely different? Just let us know in the comments. So we'll just get this going. We'll just start putting that back into that dish, shall we? And we keep the area clean and tidy. Clean as you go, best way to do it. So the parsnip is now done. right. There you go. Byron, hello, how are you doing? Also batch cooking here, so we'll listen along while Craddock gets under my feet. Yeah, I have that. My little Bengal cat's called Peanut. He gets everywhere as well. Mind you, not as much as Lord Tiggywigs. He kind of rules the house. So, with the carrots, I'm just going to cut along just into discs, just into rounds. Why not? Different shapes, different thicknesses. Like I said, it is going to be rustic. So what you're batch cooking then, Byron? Hopefully some more of that curry that you showed. I'm going to have to try that one out myself. Hey Leslie, how you doing, Twisted? I'm good, still not too thick. Ouch. Some naked soft foods, dal, and also soup on the go. Nice. I do like soup. I have soup all year round. But we're getting into that kind of season now. Soup, casserole, stew. And the nice thing is, for those of us on Slimming World, it means that we get plenty of extra veggies in. Or speed food, as our cult lingo suggests. So, parsnips are now cut, the carrots are now cut, the onions have now sauteed away. So I'm just going to go in there now with our parsnips and carrots. We're just going to get them in there, like so. And good, Twisted. Hope you're okay. Hope Mr. Escobar isn't too tight today. So we're just going to get them in, and again, we're just going to sweat them down. And I may as well just go ahead and add our celery. There's a lot of heat in this pan, so don't worry, everything is going to saute itself down lovely. So all them flavours of them veggies there are just going to jam together. They're just going to have a little party in there, little disco. And while I'm doing that, I may as well prep our potatoes. If you hear any drilling in the background, I'm getting a new storage unit put together. And you know, there's nowhere else in the house to go. Well, there is, but Cameron Steve, the brother-in-law, likes to listen to my rambling. I think, well, he probably doesn't, but that's what I told myself. Zoned out, he says. Twisted says, I'm going to be making a Henderson tomato soup with cheesy pinwheels. Ooh. Now we're talking. He's had to pop to the shop. He could have popped to the shop last night, Twisted, instead of sitting on Simo's live stream, getting drunk. Mind you, young Sinbad's feeling a little bit worse for wear today, so. So, tatties, nice and easy, nice and simple. There's kind of no method to the soup. It's kind of whatever you've got, use it. If you've got stuff hanging around in the bottom of the freezer, perfect. So I've kind of cut the potatoes there, all different sizes. Some big, some small, and there's the sweet there on the side as well. And all I'm going to do, I'm just going to swap out this chopping board. I'm then going to bring in my very rustic looking board. If I can find one. It should be organised, but you know, one of those things where you get a new kitchen and for the first like 8 months all you're doing is looking for stuff. So here we have the second board, just here, and I've got my knife, and all we're going to do is we're just going to take the chicken out of said pan. So that's been bubbling away nicely there. So all I'm going to do, just move that across. I do apologise to Byron and Shell, who are vegans at this point. But this soup's not just for me, it's for the family, so yeah. And then all I'm going to do is just turn that first pan down just to a simmer, and we're just going to dice up the chicken breast. And it's actually just falling to bits anyway, which is nice. Don't worry if at this stage you see any pink. There's no pink here, but just in case if you do, because we will be adding it to the soup anyway, and it's going to simmer down there for quite a while, so don't worry about it, as Uncle Roger says. Took half a bottle of strawberry Malibu, so I can't say anything. That's the way to go, Twisted. Get the Malibu in your glass. So the chicken is now diced, and I'm just going to leave that just rest for a minute. Give our veggies in this pan a stir. We don't want to burn anything, cremate anything. It's all good. So we've got most of our veggies on. We've now took the chicken out of the pan. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with a chicken stock cube into the pan that I've took the chicken out. Do not get rid of that water. That water has got a ton of flavour in it. And because it's on a simmer, I'm just going to switch it, turn it back up a little bit, just to a medium heat, and just give it a little stir. Just let that stock cube kind of do its thing, but I am going to add a little bit of pepper. because that's going to form the base of our soup. Okay, so I'm now going to move on to our garlic. I've got 2 garlic bulbs there. I've also got 2 bay leaves. They will be going in very shortly. And all I'm going to do, I'm just going to roughly dice the garlic. Who doesn't love garlic? Just like so. Lovely jubbly. And we're just going to get that back in that bowl. You might think, why didn't I put it in at the same time with the onions? Because the onions had to sweat a little bit over a high heat, and I didn't want to risk burning the garlic because then it goes bitter. So we don't want to do that. This is now about ready to add our stock. So we're now going to pour the stock that we've just boiled the chicken in and added the chicken stock cube, and we're just going to go into the pan just like so. Lovely jubbly. I'll get that off to one side, and we're just going to move that pan forward just so you can see it a little bit better. I think if it is still in shot, well, it will be in shot right about now. Hi Rebecca. How are you, Rebecca? Hope you're doing well. So, we've now gone in with our stock, chicken stock. We've now got our veggies. We're now going to go in with our garlic. Just get the garlic in there. Lovely jubbly. And our 2 bay leaves. Now, with bay leaves, a load of people take them out normally at the end. If you go to blitz your soup, bay leaves, you can actually leave it in while you blitz. It's not going to do anything bad for you. And you can actually eat bay leaves. The reason why they say to take things out is just so you don't cut your mouth on any sharp bits on the leaves. Nice to hear you, Rebecca. So, I've now got that going. Because it's going to be a chunky soup, I'm probably going to add a little bit more water to it. So, I'm just going to go in with probably about 300 ml, 350 ml of water. I'm just going to get that in there, lovely jubbly, and we're just going to season it. So we're going to go back in there with a bit of our salt, a bit of the pepper, and then we're now going to add our potatoes and our swede. So we're going to get all of that goodness in there as well. And as you can see, that pan is now looking nice and full. So, we're going to do that, and last but not least, because it is a vegetable soup and that chicken stock is going to be quite strong, we're just going to add 1 stock pot of vegetable stock. So that is kind of it for now. I'm just going to bring that up to the boil before I add the chicken. I'm going to grab a drink, sit down and have a little natter with you. Why not? But first I'm just going to clean away some of my stuff. Like I said, if you're hearing stuff in the background, we're building. So I'm going to get that tablet, get that bowl in there. 2 bowls for the price of 1. And yeah, that's pretty much it now until that soup comes up to the boil. I could put the lid on at this point, but I'm not in any major rush. So let's get to some of the comments. Rebecca, I'm doing a chicken and vegetable soup, kind of a chunky soup, rustic soup, and yeah, I will have some, the family will have some, and if there's any left, it'll probably be my lunch for tomorrow. So yeah, happy Sunday even though it's been down. Yeah, we had a bit. Yesterday was our worst day. Actually, Friday was our worst day. Twisted says soup, I think, Rebecca. Indeed. Chicken and vegetable. Rebecca says, oh nice, I'm going to make a chicken stew later. Now that does sound very good. So, for those that are watching, put in the comments, are you a soup person, stew person, or casserole person? Or all 3? Nice, Twisted. What did you forget that's made him go back to the shop then, Twisted? Stews, Rebecca says. Twisted, more stew, but I like a good soup. Yeah, I reckon give it another week or 2 and it'll probably be stew season all open up. Rebecca says, I love blending it up into a soup now and then. Yeah. Nothing for us as we needed dog food. Alright, so Escobar did need something then. Ouch. Sorry, Pablo. Yeah, I mean, for me, old-fashioned stuff like corned beef stew. Love a corned beef stew. Corned beef stew, dumplings.
Major debate.
Yeah, I mean, major debate on the dumplings. Do you like your dumplings soggy, or do you like it baked? Or, like me, do you prefer half of it soggy and half of it baked? Alright, Twisted. See you in a bit. So, let's just give that a little stir. I have to say, it smells lovely. Really does smell nice. But of course, you know, if you've been following me through on the Stonewall journey, you'll know that in 2 weeks' time I have an appointment with the hospital, and yeah, I could be on a full week liver reduction diet, which means I've got to go on a liquid diet for 4 weeks. I don't know if I'm going to still be on Slimming World at that point, because I just think it'll totally skew with the work that I've done. But it's something that I'm really going to have to think about. So, yeah. Rebecca says my mum makes good dumplings and cooks them in the stew. Yeah. Dumplings. Especially in a slow cooker, you know, where they kind of all just blend out and you get one huge dumpling on the top, like a dumpling crust. Byron, the vegan minute, says, thinking chickpea bean stews. Yeah. See, I do like a bean chili, or a chili non carne as they call it. I do like but then again, I like me chana masalas, I like me curries. I love spinach in a curry. Cauliflower. I mean, I always think, like, especially those of us that are following Slimming World, that the kind of diet that Slimming World kind of pushes you more towards, especially if you're cooking at home, is kind of the more Asian Oriental, you know, you kind of, so your curries, your noodle soups, your chow meins, fried rice, things like that. And I'm not surprised because, you know, I think I've said it a few times in my videos that you never really see that many overweight, especially in Asia, kind of Japan, China, Thailand, Taiwan, all that type of stuff. You never really see many overweight people, unless if they're expats and they've moved out there. Okay, so the soup is now just on the verge of bubbling away. So I'm now going to add our chicken to said pan. To the pan we go. If you're vegan, you can look away now. But actually, you could do this with tofu, or even like, you know, your corn substitutes or stuff like that. So, I actually managed to enjoy some of the dishes in my failed Veganuary this year. I know I got to day 11 of doing Veganuary, and then I was unwell for the remainder of January, so didn't complete it. But those videos are still there, they're still up. And yeah, kind of each day I tried a different vegan product. So it was either kind of the smoked ham, tofu, paneer, the chicken nuggets, that chicken not chicken, that type of stuff. So yeah, I actually got to like day 11 of Veganuary, and yeah, I actually quite enjoyed it. Kristen says she's back. We'll be listening for a bit. No problem, Twisted. Not a problem at all. So yeah, as you can see there, it is now bubbling away nicely. So we're just going to let that boil away for about 5 minutes, and then I will turn it down to a simmer. And yeah, pop the lid on, and we're kind of good to go until the end. Twisted says, also happy birthday for yesterday, Rebecca. Ah, happy belated birthday, Rebecca. You know, I do love YouTube, but sometimes there are so many videos and things to catch up on that when you get round to either live streams or chats or stuff like that, it's extremely difficult to keep up to date with stuff. I mean, my thing is just full of Slimming World. Slimming World, Manjaro, Weight Watchers, because I just like to get inspiration from different places. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Rebecca. So yeah, I mean, I definitely need to do a lot more cooking live streams, or just live streams in general. I am thinking about bringing back the coffee mornings, where obviously I started doing them earlier in the year down at work. So maybe we can bring that back midweek, probably. So let's just give that a stirry-worry. Stirry-worry with a thingy-majiggy in the doofer. If you hear any bad language in the background, that's the brother-in-law swearing because he's probably put a piece of furniture together wrong. Probably. Okay, so I reckon we can just turn that down to a simmer. And yeah, we're just going to simmer away, or simmer away, depends on if he's watching or not. But in there, so I'll just recap. So we've got onions, leeks, carrots, celery, parsley, swede, potatoes, and there's our chicken with a chicken stock with bay leaves and plenty of salt and pepper. We probably will need the salt and pepper again at the end, but yeah, so far so good. So all I'm going to do now is, now that is down to a simmer, just going to take the spoon off there, and I'm just going to place a nice lid on top. And yeah, all I'm going to do now is just let that simmer away for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. The nice thing with soups, stews, casseroles and stuff is the fact that they will go well in a slow cooker, because all the flavours of the veggies and everything else will just gel together and have a very good party. So, yeah, like I've said, hope you've all had a lovely weekend. I'm not going to keep you here talking for the next 25 minutes until it's done, but you will catch this in a What I Eat in a Day video that will be out this evening. So yeah, if you want to see more of how this soup looks and how it comes out and dishes up, do check out my What I Eat in a Day video this evening. It'll be out probably around 9:30, and yeah, I will catch you all in that video. And tomorrow, like I said, midweek, I will try and do a live stream again, and there will be a cooking video out on Tuesday. So until then, thank you all very much for joining. Hope you have a fantastic remainder of the weekend. Hope you have an amazing week, and yeah, I will catch you all another time. Take care, and from myself, Peanut the Cat, and Drilly Gonzalez in the background there, adios.